I think we're live. If
It
we
hurts.
are, I don't know. Welcome. Here we are. We're down. I'm Rand Hoppy. I'm here with Sal Phillips and Tom Kraft. We're down at. I'll put us up on the main screen here. Oh, hello. Hi everyone. We are at One Art Space, the last day of our pop-up. Jack Kirby from the ghetto to the cosmos, and we're taking advantage of the last day to actually do some live streaming. We do a lot of live streaming in general, but we've kind of taken a break, right?
Yep.
So just to take advantage of what we know how to do, we're going to do some more live streams. So please say hello. We'd like to hear from you in the comments, and we say hello to everybody in the audience here too. Hi. So hopefully you can hear us. It looks like you can.
If you can hear us, say so.
Say, give us a thumbs up or something.
Okay.
Hi, Lantern Zone. All right, and Dover, UK. Fantastic, Dick Powers. All right. So, oh, look at that. It's flipped. How do I flip the camera?
Do I do it on my end? No, you have to do it.
I have to flip it over here. 1 moment. That's a little weird. Let me see how I can figure that out. Audio is clear. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
It's amazing.
I know. No, I don't want to. There we go. Much better. Okay. So let's see. Our Tom created this fantastic presentation. This
By the seat of my pants.
by the seat of his pants within the last 36 hours.
Yes.
And so we're just going to talk a little bit about what the museum's been up to as far as preserving Jack's legacy. So you want to fire it up, Tom?
Sure. So why don't you say who you are?
I'm Rand. I had the idea for this museum about 20 years ago. It's been an honor and a real pleasure to take care of Jack as best as I can with this organization. And yeah, I guess I'm the director, right?
Yep. And I'm Tom Kraft. I'm with the museum as well on the board. I'm the president, and I've been working with Rand and managing the whole archive and building and preserving Jack's legacy. And we've reached out to several very kind volunteers over the years, including Hal Phillips.
I'm Hal Phillips. I've been helping out a lot with archive research. I've been largely researching creator attributions, metadata, largely for the romance comics, cross-referencing them with different online sources. So yeah, I've been excited to help out.
All right.
Okay.
What's next? Yes.
So the museum collections is a general term for a bunch of different things. There's also all the data that we're collecting and putting together, but then there's also the dream of having an online presence with this whole new experience and exposing it to the general public, researchers and historians. We have the largest digital archive ever of Jack Kirby's work, approximately 17,000 objects. And we have a searchable Jack Kirby catalog raisonné, and a catalog raisonné is what, Rand?
It's a record of an artist's work in
Yes.
general.
Yes.
So that was one of the things when I had the idea for the museum, is that Jack really needed that, and you know, John and John Morrow and Richard Coltman worked on the Jack Kirby checklist, which is kind of a looking at a catalog raisonné through a different angle. But so we just thought that take using their work as a foundation, the work at comics.org, other research that we've done on our own,
And Henry Mendricks, all his
Harry
research.
Mendrick, that's right.
Yeah.
So just be able to build something that is just a little more like an actual catalog raisonné.
Right. And in the past, it's been a print document, so this would be everything online. And we'll get more detail on that soon. And we've also been assembling and digitizing all of Jack's interviews. So we have this research tool online that you could search key phrases across all like 100, over probably about 100 different interviews that we have, including video interviews that we digitize into text. So that's the other big thing. But all this stuff is really to encourage the study of Jack Kirby, and that's really the museum's mission, and make it available to historians, researchers, the media, and everybody who likes Jack Kirby, who's probably visiting this wonderful show pop up.
Right on.
So as I mentioned, Catalog Raisonné is the main, kind of like the main center of everything, because that holds all the data of everything that Jack did. And then the next thing is the digital archive, which actually is all the work that we've done archiving Jack's art, and I'll get into the details, but it feeds on the Catalog Raisonné. So a lot of the background data of the scans and the images are pulled from the Catalog Raisonné. And then the research part is more of the interviews that we've been doing over the years. It started with Kirby in his own words. Is that what we called it?
Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that could be a wonderful resource eventually. Obviously, we can't expose all of that, but we could have it as a searchable database. We could use AI on it and have it accessible that way. So the Catalog Raisonné is our long-term scholarly project to document Jack Kirby's entire body of work in comics, comic strips, animation, and related media. It's designed as a living research resource with links to issues, stories, creators, visual materials into a single searchable record of Kirby's career. And we want to bring everything online. And this is just one little image of the Catalog Raisonné. It's very story-based, so we based everything on stories. Whereas in a lot of cases you see issue number and all that type of work, we wanted to focus it on Jack's stories. So the story is the first thing, and then where it appears is the second thing. And in here you could see all the different credits, and there's a lot of other information here that you can't see, but at the top is all the different tables. So it's a relational database that separates out everything and gets it ready to be consumed by a website or an AI kind of engine. And then you want to talk about how we're building it, because you're working with that?
Yeah, a lot of what I've been doing is, or do you want me to read this or?
No, just you can look at it as a reference.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of what I've been doing is just cross-referencing different research sources. There's a lot of work that Harry Mendrick has done. There's the Jack Kirby checklist. There's the GCDcomics.org, and these often don't all say the same thing, because obviously a lot of these comics came out before there were even printed credits. So a lot of work has been done over the years to try to identify who's worked on what actually was or was not Jack Kirby. And I'm sort of taking all those sources and consolidating them. I'm figuring out which ones are the higher credibility sources, which ones have had more research done. Where there are conflicts, I'm noting the conflicts so that we have all that info, but then still figuring out what the primary attribution should be. So what we're left with is the ultimate consolidated source of all of that info, sort of just taking all those sources and putting them in one place.
Which is great for researchers, because they don't necessarily have to take our word for it, but by documenting where we're getting the sources from, they could go back into the sources and make their own decisions. And also, since we're building this thing over time, in a lot of cases, you could go to comics.org today and find information, but then in a year, it might be totally different information. So we're cataloging when we look at something, when we make our decisions.
And I've been impressed with how meticulous it is too. I think that we're even putting in, like you said, dates, so that, for example, if I put something in today and then comics.org changes what it says in a week, there will still be a record that this is what it said at a certain point
in time. Yep.
Right.
And then this is what you're working on. You're working on building the credits. So this is a view of kind of like basically it's a form, and in it you see the credits, you see an image. So there's a lot of work to do, because there's I think, a lot of issues, 4,000 issues or something.
A lot.
Yeah, it's 4,200, I think.
Yeah.
And for all those, we need to get an image for. So, and that's a lot of work. So it's an ongoing effort. And then there's a digital archive, which we started in 2006 at Comic-Con, right?
San Diego, yeah,
San
I
Diego
think so.
Comic-Con. And it's been a great effort on our part, but also all the people who have donated and allowed us to scan their art over the years.
Yep.
It started at Comic-Con, and several dealers opened their art to us to lend, to scan, and of course give it back. We'd like to keep it. Yeah, so this just goes over a little bit of what we've been doing. And it includes like original art, comic book art. It could be animation art that he worked on for TV cartoons, photocopies, and we'll go into that a little bit later, documents, and other historical objects like photography. We've archived a lot of photos from the family that can be included in this whole digital archive.
So for example, like, you know, I mean, you've done it a lot more than I have, but like if we find out that there are fantastic objects with heritage auctions, they actually will allow us to come into their office and use their scanner and scan what they have at the quality that we would like, as opposed to what they would like, which is different. So, you know, we put in the human time to get the scans of the quality that we want. But just the reason I bring it up was I'm just thinking about, you know, the holiday season and some of the talks that we've had here at the pop-up. I just thought it was great that I actually went to Houston and did the scanning whenever that was, September?
Yeah, September.
I think.
Yep.
And the reason I went was because they had the original art and for the cover and for the full comic, the story of the New Seed, 2001, number 7. And I just one of Jack's greatest comics, you know, science fiction comics, just a real favorite of mine. But what was really fun was that as part of the package was also correspondence between the person who purchased the art from Jack and Jack and Roz. And it was so I scanned it all, you know, little notes, and you know, I got to see Jack and Roz's season's greetings Christmas cards that they sent out. Right. I mean, it's really that's really fun to see, you know.
Right.
So
And the key is that we wouldn't have done. They would have been lost.
it would have been lost.
And the good thing that we started back in 2006 is at the time there used to be a lot of such issues, like complete issues.
Right.
Of Commandy, of you know, even of Thor, complete Thor books
Thor,
in twice up size, which is a large size, 18 by 20. We scanned all of those, and eventually they got into the hands of art dealers, and you know, the price per page is, you know, nowadays is $10,000, and you know, you're never going to get all those images back together again. And the way we scan them is in a digital format called DNG. And it's an archival format, which allows us to preserve that digitally. So it's not like a JPEG or a PNG. It's taking the data directly from the scanner, so it could be better manipulated. And we try to get that format, and we scan the front and the back.
I mean, for folks who are into photography, it's like we use a scanner to get the raw image, like
it's
the
a
people
raw
who
image.
do photography. They get raw images from the sensor, and thankfully the wonderful folks at ViewScan programmed a scanning software that allow us to get the raw images from the sensors in scanners, and it's just awesome.
And what's good about that too is when we distribute things, it's almost like old-fashioned negatives. You process them, and then we give them the processed version. So we keep the digital version, which is the archival version.
And that's true, because a lot of times people are like, well, can I just, you know, can you just send me those scans? Like, you know, I know you've scanned, you know, the New Seed story, and I'd like to take a look at those scans. for whatever reason, it could be legitimate, but it's like, yeah, but they have to be processed, and it's not an automatic process. And I mean, I wish it was, but it's not. So
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, there's a folder and we're gonna push a button and
Spit
let
it
people
out.
see it. It's like we need to actually get in there if somebody does make a request, and we feel that it's it's something that we can accommodate.
Yes.
That it does take a little effort to accommodate requests.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. For that reason, a lot of it will be, at least at the beginning, a lot of it is more about a list of what we have in the archive and less of showing everything. And there probably will be different levels of access for the main. We can't publish to everyone every single page of a comic book because of copyright.
Right.
So fair usage, we can provide some images, but there might be somebody writing a book or an article in a magazine or something that is researching it, and they want to go through. They might have temporary access to everything, and everything doesn't. Since like I said at the beginning, there's like over 17,000 images, and the amount of manpower or person power it would take to get all that stuff processed and up online, it'd be really long. So some of it will just be listings and then a request form, basically.
Right. Oh, what's next?
So this is just a view of the digital archive.
Right.
And like with the catalog, Hal and I went through and came up with conventions and best practices and guidelines. Ran and I came up with guidelines for naming everything. So there's all collections like original art, photocopies, TV, cartoons, commission work that we've scanned over the years, published and unpublished. We've also so this is just a couple of historical pages that we've scanned in the past.
Nice. Like it's Yancey Street.
Yes,
Fantastic.
that's why I did that. You want to talk about the naming a little bit? What's going on?
I don't remember.
Naming the street.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, no, I mean, of course, the great effort by Roy Schwartz he's gotten a few mentions in the media about and has made great progress with the city government in order to get a corner. I think it's Jack Kirby Way, I believe. Which was, I think it's going to be Delancey and Essex, which is where the Marvel sign was back in, what was that, September for the Fantastic Four?
July. What's that? Yeah, I thought it was June. June or July.
It was the birthday. It was for the movie.
Yes.
For the Fantastic Four movie.
That came out
So
in
Marvel was able to pay the city to get a street sign put up for, what they said was 24 hours, but it was actually 6. and then I think that actually that encouraged Roy to make the effort and get petitions signed and okays from the neighborhood and a lot of help, and actually made great inroads into the city council person's office for the district, and so on and so on. So we're actually looking for I think there's going to be a vote at the New York City Council in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
So hopefully that will happen, and then the mayor has to sign it, and the New York City mayor, and that's usually just ceremonial. It's not like a decision needs to be made. It's just the mayor signing it, and then there'll be an unveiling. And I think the general thought is that the unveiling would be in some nice weather in the spring.
I'm sure we're going to be there.
What's that?
I'm sure you're going to be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Sure. So a lot of fun. That's a fun thing going on. And of course, Delancey Street is where Yancey Street came from.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Right.
It's too much of a rhyme for it not to be. Oh yeah.
So we've scanned so many different genres. I mean, different periods of Jack's work from the 60s, and 70s with New Gods, 60s again, like super rare art that the general public would probably never get to see.
The original Cap 100 cover.
Yes,
That is not. If you were to look at the comic book, it doesn't look like that. They changed it.
that's right.
Yep.
And some wonderful collages.
Oh yeah. Really cool.
So that's only four of.
four samples from the
Yes.
digital archive, and then the Skymaster.
Then we've been,
Sundays.
and things like Black Hole. So this is all the comic strip stuff.
Yeah.
And then also animation work. And Comic Link has been another great contributor that's helped us out because they've been selling a lot of their animation. Jack did a lot of work with Thundar the Barbarian, Super Friends. What else?
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo. He did a lot of the villains in Scooby Doo, and he did a lot of crazy work for Ruby Spears, like this thing, which he just would come up with these ideas. This was going to be something called like Alien ET or something like that, and it was going to be a TV cartoon that never happened. But he would like draw all these different like scenarios, characters, all their abilities, and this one actually is quite funny.
Alien mobility. Alien can levitate naturally, avoids capture in this manner.
There's a lot of fun things in the archive.
Yeah.
So we go to a bunch of different conventions, Comic-Con. I think this is WonderCon, maybe it's WonderCon from a long time ago.
That is, yeah.
What else? San Diego, New York Comic-Con, and thanks to Nostalgic Investments, which is an art dealer, they give us a little space, little tables with a scanner, and so usually I'm the one scanning. Rand scans as well, but I'm the one that goes to all the conventions with the scanners and scans as much as we can. And a lot of times we make arrangements with other collectors. They'll bring their art there. And then also I go around to dealers, and the dealers in general have been wonderful. They'll sometimes come up to us and say, I got this great piece for the archive.
You're going to a collector's house today.
And I'm going, after the show, I'm hopping in an Uber and going to the other side of New York to scan stuff.
That's great.
And then this is just one scanning period. And
One session.
One
Yeah.
session, I just put all the stuff down and took a picture of it. And then also we travel to different places, stay in hotels, scan at hotels, wherever we can. We also go to homes, and this is the late Joe Sinnott and I don't know who the other person is, but Mark Sinnott's on the side. So Joe and Mark were really nice to us. And
Who's that young man on the right there?
That's a younger version of me when I didn't have all gray hair. And also we go to homes, basically. This is Fantastic Frank.
Fantastic Frank. Look at
He
him.
allowed us to come to his home many years ago and scan his archive.
That's great.
And we also you want to talk about the family stuff.
Woo. So yeah, we need to scan Mike Royer. That is what Mark Avenir says. We need to scan Mike Royer. So
What do you mean, scan Mike Rory?
We need to get him in the scanner and scan Mike.
Oh,
I'll put it on. Thanks, Mark. Right. So in 1973 or two, I guess Neil Kirby was able to bring a tablet, an 11x17 photocopier to his parents' house, and that allowed Jack to scan his art as it came off the drawing table and before it went out to the inker, which was, it's ironic because at the time the inker was Mike Royer, who was very faithful to the art, as opposed to other inkers like Vinnie Coletta, who had just been not on the assignment anymore. But ever since then, Jack and Roz or whoever, Steve Sherman or Mark Avenir, whoever was in the place helping Jack out, they would scan the original art. They would actually take the art and put it in the automatic document feeder and let it go through the photocopier. So there, 8,000
Yeah,
photocopies
approximately, yes, yeah.
from the family's collection.
And I'm still adding them into, we have all the scans, but I have to add it into the database, and there's like so many to add.
So we are taking care of them for the family, and there was, Mark says there was not an automatic document feeder. All right, Mark. Thank you.
So, yeah, but we saw the thing, so they had to do one by one.
They had to do one by one.
Okay, yeah. But it was a liquid-based photocopy machine back in the early 70s. That's the way that copy machines were. Luckily, later on, copy machines became less gray tone, but this copy machine had gray tones, which is great. But what happened also was it was very inconsistent. So depending on how well they put how much liquid was in it, I guess, I'm not quite sure, it would cause different effects. And it was, a lot of times we get a lot of like patterns and textures in it. So it's a lot of cleanup when we want to use some of this stuff. And we also have some, so Jack also would get some photocopies from Marvel in the 60s.
Or
later
stats.
60s, or stats.
Or vacuum stats, those pink things.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different copies that like Marvel would send him or take in order to, like the famous, we have a photostat, a small photostat of the lab from the Beehive story, the Fantastic Four, just so Jack would know what the building that he drew looked like.
Yeah, from issue to issue. Yeah.
So it allowed Jack to have a little sense of continuity for his work.
In a lot of cases, it was the letterer had already put the letter balloons and all that kind of stuff in it, but the pencils were still there. And they would, as soon as that was done, Jack might have been starting on the next issue, so they made sure that he had photocopies so he would remember what he had drawn, because he was drawing so many things at the time. It was
what the room looked like, what the building looked like, what the costumes looked like. Yeah.
And then this is a view when we first started scanning the photocopies. All those envelopes were originally in Jack's studio. And we went through envelope by envelope, and we had these things called ScanFest.
ScanFest.
Oh, and it took us over.
Tom would come to Hoboken and bring his scanner, and I had a scanner, and we would just scan all these photocopies for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
It took at least 3 ScanFest weekends.
It took over 2 years.
Yeah, it took over 2 years.
Yeah. And that resource of the digital archive and all the ink version has allowed us to work with a bunch of different publishers like IDW, their artist editions. We provided some images for them to do like Mr. Miracle, Commandy, New Gods, and I believe there were 2 Commandees.
Yep.
Yeah. And some Marvel artist editions as well. And then it also provides, since it's a digital archive, since it's a digital file, it allows us to manipulate things much easier. So this is an example of us taking a scan. And Jack used to use Martin inks, and they fade. You could tell on the edges that it was in the frame, probably in the sun. So I went in and I sampled everything, and I put back all the right colors, and I punched up all the colors close to probably what it looked like after Jack finished it. And so the archive provides a way for us to do presentations like these. All those books are from a lot of the books that are from the archive. And then the Dream Machine was a big print that we did, but you scanned that back many years ago.
A long time ago, yeah. Didn't even use the digital negative format. It was just
TIFF.
The TIFF,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And this is Jack working on it, actually. So Kirby in his own words is the work that we've done on digitizing interviews, articles, appearances drawn from newspapers, radio, television, personal talks, and convention recordings. But it's all like archived into an online kind of like Wikipedia kind of thing.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. And then this is just one view of one of the records. And we pull the stuff from everything. Newspaper.com, where we'll find newspaper articles, and we'll scan it and turn it into text and put it up here. What else? We've been doing the videos.
Digitizing videos like that public access cable interview that we showed Friday night from 1986.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm so bad with the date, but yeah, it was a pretty strange interview from public access cable in Los Angeles. It's like just our friend Steve Robertson found a VHS tape and said, "I found this tape," and sent it to us, and we digitized it, and now we have a great record of it, which is really cool.
And this is just a quick mock-up of the possible direction for the archive, like the homepage, where we'd have our collections, which would open up and provide the catalog raisonné, digital archive, and possibly a research section. And then we were playing around with the idea of mother box, ping ping like we have at the front, to serve as some type of a prop to query the whole database with AI. Because all this data again is in relational databases that could easily be searched, and that's the type of stuff that AI loves to feed into it. And then the bottom part of the page would be more about going directly into the different sections of the website. And then a very early idea of a listing of how we would present things, and they'd probably open up to show detailed information. And then the digital archive would actually have images in it with all full information taken off from the archive. And DC has been great with us. We've had a little bit of a relationship with them, and they provided some ads to support the digital archive in New Gods, the new Gods.
The new Gods.
The new Gods that recently finished, I think this month or last month, with issue 12. There's 12 in the series.
Well, they were publishing the superpower toys, so that we had scans of the drawings that Jack did for that, so
Right.
that we were able to kind of build our friendship with them, or build our relationship with them, so that when they were they were looking for that, and then we were like, well, we were quoting them a price for that level of support, but then they were like, well, we can't pay that, but what else can we give you? So they can give us an ad in New Gods 1. We were able to get the rights to do those amazing blacklight posters that are in the tent in the room right now of the Demon and Strike Overlord, which is just wonderful. So it's great to be able to work with DC on stuff like that, to be able to make like that happen. That's because of the work we've been doing in the archive.
And we also are raising money to actually bring the whole archive to life online.
We need developers to help us out do this, right? We actually paid people who can do programming, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So this information is on our website, but it has QR code and so forth. And we're celebrating our 20th year this year.
What?
20 years.
I know. Yeah, it's been great. And it's been such a nice pop-up and we haven't done it since 21. So here we are 4 years later doing it. It's like,
Did it during the pandemic in 2021.
Let's do it again, but let's not do it 4 years from now. Let's do it next year. So we'll hopefully we'll see how that goes. It's been a really great time. So we have someone online asking if prints of the Dream Machine are available.
No,
they're not for sale right now, but
we sold out.
We still have a few saved somewhere, but we're waiting to put them out
Yeah,
for
that's true.
special auction, fundraising purposes, stuff like that.
What did we do? 100 or one?
I don't remember.
I think it's 100. We've had 2 different runs on it, and they've sold out every time. So who knows? It might be a 3rd run eventually.
So more tagging and descriptions is Don't want to leave Hal out of it. But so that's what's going on. You
There's
guys
plenty
have
of that to do. Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of more database work going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we use a wonderful thing called Slack, so we communicate with each other. So it's a great way to collaborate, basically. And Hell's been great. Hell's always on Slack.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been, getting a lot of value out of, Harry's checklists that he's made. He's
Sure.
gone through all the young love, young romance. So,
And that's new to you. You were saying that you've never read through any of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I've never actually read the romance comics, and I'm always just interested in, comic book history. So it's been really interesting to have an excuse to look at those and to get a sense of what sort of thing they did and how that all came about.
And you've done more work in comics and stuff, right? And in
Yeah.
archiving.
Yeah, my background is mainly in archiving, and that's included some comics-related stuff. I worked for Comixology as a digital archivist. I interned actually at Marvel in their library for a while. So I've come at comic book archiving from a few different angles, digital and analog, and I'm, always looking for more opportunities to be involved in that. It's not the biggest growth industry, comic book archiving. So, when I can find opportunities to do archive research related to comics, that's always real rewarding. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Any
for
other
that.
questions? Any questions?
Any questions? Questions from the internet? No. All right. Well, I think we can move on, right?
Yep.
That was a great
Yep.
talk. So there's a sense of it. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook forever, as far as we're concerned. But that's what we're up to. Appreciate everybody listening and stopping, and everybody online. Hello, and we're gonna sign off. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
All right.